Hey, and welcome to the next tutorial video on duct tape creations. For today's tutorial, I am showing you how to make 3 types of duct tape flower pens. The first pen I'm going to show you how to make is a rosebud. The second one is the actual rose, and the third is how to make a duct tape daisy. So I hope you enjoy this 3-part tutorial. And let's get started. Okay, now let's get started on making the duct tape rosebud. So now your first step to make the duct tape rosebud is to cut out 18 squares of tape that are 2 by 2 inches. Now the squares of tape are not a perfect square because the width of the actual tape is a little bit less than 2, so it's just a little bit less than 2 by 2. I'm not sure of the actual measurement, but you can just qualify it as 2 by 2 inches. Either way it works because it's just a little amount. Okay, so let's get started on making the petals for the bud. Okay, so now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take one of your squares here and just fold one of the corners over just like this, and just seal it down so that's what you get. So now you're going to take the next corner here and just fold it down just like that, so you have like what looks to be like a pyramid with a little bit of sticky side showing here. Okay, so just set that aside. So now you're going to do this with every one of these. So let me show you again. So just fold this down here, and fold the other corner down over top of it, just like that, so it looks just like this. Now each time you make a petal, they're not going to turn out exactly the same, but it works. Okay, now one more time, just going to fold it down here, and then fold that corner down. Okay, so now that you know how to do this, so now that you know how to do that, you're gonna do that with the rest of these squares. So now after you've done that, I'm gonna show you how to put the petals onto the pen, and then after that, we'll move on to the next flower pen, the duct tape rose. So let's get started on making this pen. Okay, so now that you have all your petals, now you have all your squares folded into these little petals here. Now we're going to take a pen. Now let's make sure it's not a click pen, because obviously that would not work very well. I'm actually trying to figure out a way to do that, make it look cool. Okay, so when I get that done, maybe I'll get a tutorial up for you. So now what you're going to do, you're just going to take one of your petals here, and just stick it down right there, and just wrap it around the top of the pen just like that. And you're going to take the second one and just twist it around like the last one. So now with this is starting the center of the pen, of the flower. So now you're just going to keep twisting them around, placing them wherever there's an open space for a petal to fit, just like so. And then, okay. So now you're just going to keep doing this until you get to the end of all your petals, and then that's pretty much it for this pen. Now we can move on to the rose. So finish putting these on, and then we'll move on to the rose. Alright, so now that you've finished twisting these around, finished twisting the petals around. Sorry about that, I get really tongue-tied. Okay, but anyway, now that you have this done, it should look like this, or a little bit different, depending on how many petals you used. If you use more, it will be a lot bigger, and maybe nicer, it all depends. So, now that you have this one done, well, basically done. I will show you how to cover up this at the end of the 3 tutorials. I'll show you how to cover them up on all of them. Okay. So until then, well, let's get started on the next tutorial. So now for the duct tape rows, you're going to cut out 27 squares total. Now these here I've already folded into the petals, as you can see, obviously. But I saved these 3 just to show you what we're going to do. Now, I'm just going to show you just again, just as a refresher. So just as you remember, to make the little pyramids, you fold it and fold it again. Do the same thing and fold it down. And then, okay, this one, same thing. Okay. So now this is where we're gonna step off from the same way we did this. Instead of leaving it at a point like these are, you're gonna take your scissors here and you're just gonna start right here and just round off the edge just like that. And then now you're gonna do this with all these. Just curve it around. Okay. Now there are different ways that you can do a duct tape rose pen. Well, mainly 2 that I've found, that I've learned and know how to do. You can do what I'm doing, just do little squares and round off the edges. Or you can make a 3-inch rectangle that's like this, and do the same thing, just fold it into the pyramid shape like these, and then just round off the edge. That'll make a bigger and more loose rose. But I like doing this because it's easier, and I think it makes it look really cool. So now you're just going to do that with the rest of these here, and then, like before, we're just going to start. I'm going to show you how to wrap these around the pen. Okay. So round off the rest of the edges, and then we can start wrapping it around. So let's get that done now. Okay, so now after that long process, you finally got all your petals rounded off. I must say it's a pretty long process, even though I had them folded into a triangle. But yeah, okay. So grab your pen here. Just take one of your petals and just twist it around just like before, and just loosely do it. When you loosely do it, you may come up with these little bumps here, but that's fine, because it will make it look better if you do it like loose. So when you're folding, what you're going to do, when you're twisting this around, what you're going to do is push your thumb that way, so when you're twisting it around, it goes outward. So then it's going to look like that. So now you're just going to keep doing this over again, where there's an open space for the petals to go, and then that's going to be it for this tutorial. And like I just said before, at the end of all the tutorials, I will show you how to cover up this part of the pen. So we'll get to that afterwards. Alright. So now I did a few petals here. So that's what it looks like right now, just a few amount of petals. So now get the rest of these petals on here, and then we'll move on to making the duct tape daisy. Okay, so finish twisting these around, and we'll move on. Alright, so now that you finished wrapping the petals around the pen for the rose, it should look like this. It looks very nice. So now, it may be a bit different for you depending on how many petals you used. You could have used less or more than what I did. It's all up to you. No matter any size you want to make this rose, go right ahead and do it. You can maybe cut out 30, maybe 50 That would be cool. That'd be really cool. But so now that one's done, we're gonna move on to making the daisy. Okay, so to make the daisy one more time, we're gonna have to cut out. This time it's less, thankfully. We're just gonna cut out 3 squares of tape again. So now here's where it differs from the rest. You're just gonna take your X-Acto knife and just cut them in half, and in half that way. And do it the same with all of these. Just like that. So now you're going to come out with little strips, little squares like this. So now you're going to fold it just like before. Fold it in and make tiny pyramids. Just like that. See? A little tiny pyramid. So, take one of your little squares here, fold that down, and take this side right here, and just fold that down. Okay. So then, do that with the rest of these, and then we'll move on to making the petals with this strip over here. Okay. So make these petals now, and we'll move on. Okay. Now that you folded all those little things into the petals, you're just going to wrap it around like you did for the rose and the bud. Just like that. Okay. So now you're going to cut out 2 strips of tape here for the petals to make the daisy. You're going to cut out 2 strips of tape that are 10 inches long and cut them in half here, and then cut them in half this way. So you're going to come out with 8 strips of tape that are 5 inches long and 1 inch in width. Well, give or take the 1 inch in width, it all depends on how well you cut it in half. So now you're going to take, so now for this one you're going to need bag ties or floral wire, whatever you have on your hand to use, on hand to use. So now you're just going to stick that down right in center there. And you're just going to fold this up just like that. So you have your first petal. So now let's do that again. So to slower. Take your bag tie or floral wire, place it right in the center, and then take the back of it and just seal it down just like that. Let's do that one more time. Okay. Just take bag tie, floral wire, stick it down, and just flip up. Okay. So now you're going to take your scissors here. You're going to start down here at the bottom and just round that off. So it's going to look just like that. Okay, so do that with the rest. Just like this. Now they're not all going to turn out exactly the same. No, 2 petals are going to be alike. Just like a snowflake. Okay. So now that you have those done, you're going to do that with so now you're going to do that with the rest of these here. And then I'm going to show you how to place the petals onto the pen, and then you'll have your daisy. And then after that, I'll show you how to cover up the rest of the pen. Okay, so make the rest of the petals now. Okay, so now you have all your petals done here. Oops. Now you're going to take one of your petals here and just place it down right like this, just like that. onto there and just twist that around. And then just bend it down so it looks like that. So then do it again, but this time put it right there. So then it's going to look like that. Okay. And then put this one across from that one. Looks like that. Do the same thing again. Just place it there. And there you go. So now take these next 4 and place them underneath these. Just like that. Right here. So do that on each spot. Sorry for I keep going off frame there. It's kind of hard to line these up. Okay. There you go. So now just place that down. Right. Like that. Okay. There you go. And I'll take it. And now for your last one. Just place down right there. There you go. There's your duct tape daisy. So now you have your 3 duct tape flower pins. So now I'm going to show you how to cover up these pieces here. So now I'm just going to take some green, well for these I'm going to use some green tape. You can use whatever color tape you want. You can use whatever color tape you want for the flowers themselves. So now you're just going to cut out a strip of tape here that is about, say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 inches long. That may be a bit big, but it's better to go big than go small. Okay, so now take one of your pens here. Oh, here, I'm going to use, so take one of these so you can see. Okay, so then just place this right there and twist it around just like that. Now what I do, I squeeze it between my hands to flatten it out. Okay, so there you go. So that's how you seal up this part of the thing. So now it looks like you have a green stem. So use that same step for all of these. Now what you can do for these pins, it's a little bit different. You don't have to do it for this one because it gets hidden by the petals. You're just going to cut out those little squares like you did before, right there. Okay, and do the same. And do what you did for this part here. Just cut them into little squares, just like that. Okay. So now what you're gonna do with these is you're gonna put them. Just getting closer there for you so you can see. Just gonna stick it down just like that and twist them on. Okay, just twist it there. We got 2 more for this one, and there you go. Okay, take the last one here and just place down right like that. Okay, so there you go. And so now this duct tape rose is completely finished. And I cut these out, so I might as well just use them now instead of afterwards. Just stick them down. They got stuck together there for a sec. Okay. And one last one, and that'll be it. Okay. So now you have your three flowers done. You just gotta cover up this part here with the green tape, and then you're done. So, hope you guys enjoyed this first 3-part tutorial. If you guys have any ideas of what else I can do for maybe a 3-part tutorial, I'll gladly take it. Maybe like a bracelet or something. I was actually thinking about doing how to make 3 different types of duct tape bracelets, so that would be pretty cool. So if you guys like that idea, I'll definitely get a video up for that, a 3-part tutorial like this one. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a fun time making your duct tape flowers. Thanks for watching.